All right, I have gotten the fuse box and stuff out the way. I have gotten all that big bulky stuff out of the way. Now I can come back in here and clean some of this up some, man. I got it slimmed down to 2 wires. That's all I'm gonna need. Got rid of all that. Got rid of all that. I will say, even if you're a junkyarder like me or you got an old car sitting around, this wire right here, on these red and these pink power wires, this is the best wire you will ever find. You cannot buy wire that is that good. You cannot do it. You have to get it off of a car. I'm just here to tell you, this stuff that they selling now is a copper blend and a cheap grades of copper. This is really good wire. So I will say that if you happen to strip a car down, reuse the wire that you can. It's color coordinated. You got some wires in here that are striped. So I will use what I can, and then I also have fresh wire, new wire with simple colors. Some of these colors are green, then you got a dark green, and that's a little too close for me. But use what you can, save your money where you can. All this stuff costs a fistful of money. Like I said, it is now cleaned up, and now I can get excited about wiring it up. Once I finish this, it was so much dirt in that wiring harness. It's crazy. I don't think I like that jig sticker. They ain't sponsoring me, so I'm gonna have to peel that off. So we'll work on that by the time I come back. Luckily came back over here and looked at it. Had a little leak right down my brake line. But it's good to go. Especially while you're sitting here, you're not driving it. It's good to get everything together, and then you can just keep a check on it. So I know I filled this up the other day, right? So when I come back and I see that it's down a little bit, I'm like, that's interesting. I must be leaking brake fluid somewhere. So that will help. Don't really wait until you're ready to drive the car to do the brakes. I say do the brakes first. That way they have time to sit. You don't have to rush to bleed them. You can let them gravity bleed, and then make sure you don't have any leaks. So that's a suggestion on that. But yes, looks way better. Now I feel like I can get motivated to start some wiring, especially once I get this here cleaned up and out the way. Old gas line, old brake line. Once I get all that out the way, definitely be motivated. Envision odometer dash. We're gonna see how this comes out. So I had to cut this on because it has to kind of peel up for the dash to fit. So I'm thinking I'm gonna be getting my dash in here, and as crazy as it might sound, I think I'm gonna tape up the dash. I think I'm gonna spray foam behind it and let the spray foam harden, pull the dash out, and then cut it to match to where I can come back and actually put the dash in, and it should stay in place. That's the game plan. And then I will be coming back over this here with fiberglass mat, Bondo sand prime paint. That is the game plan. We will see how it works. And then I got a gauge pot that's going right there, so I'm gonna have to take these vents off and run some wire. And then I'm gonna have a gauge pillar here also. So that is the plan for now. Was gonna do a push button with a remote start and all that. I'm not sure how I'm feeling on that. See when I start running wires how I really feel. I hadn't even got my torque converter bolts, like it's not even connected yet, so I still have to do that. Unfortunately, I already put my plugs in, so it's gonna be a little bit harder to turn over. I might get somebody to help me with that. What else we gotta do? Drive shaft came in. So I gotta clean this one back up. I'm gonna be putting the Trans Am back together, so I'm gonna use this drive shaft for that. I had played myself on that, so I'm gonna have to put some rust remover down in that to get it back situated for no apparent reason. That's another backup drive shaft for the Snowball Camaro. So this one fits, is just a little too short. You can kind of see the ride mark. I want my ride mark to be like here. So I'll be cutting this one to be, looks like about an inch longer than the one that's on the Trans Am. So that's what's in the mix for that one there. Like I said, also be getting the Trans Am back in the mix. 97 car, so It's the one headlight on the Trans Am. I'm gonna be looking for a V6 donor car to get the front clip off of so I can have the 2 lights. So that's what's in the mix on that. Oh, look at that. That's actually it's actually the pillar and what's gonna be going on top right there. So the gauges and stuff, air fuel ratio, I think water, temp, volt. I think I already bought all that stuff. Like I said, I already have the dash. A lot of this stuff is already bought. When I did the other car, I did it kind of backwards. I kind of wired up what I had, and then when I came back to rewire, I was having to add stuff, and it made my wiring get really, really sloppy. So before I start doing any wiring, I would like to have all my components that I'm going to be using, and I can start tying everything in together. It just makes it a lot easier. For some of my stuff, and possibly it's going to be on MSD, I'm probably going to end up taking the airbag out. I'm probably going to end up cutting that slide open and putting the MSD box there. Possibly, I'm thinking. I do have a lot of room under this window also doing that, so there's a lot of room under there that could keep me from having to run wires too far. So then it would be tucked up and out the way. So we'll see. In the mix, I'm trying to do it as clean as possible. So I'm thinking if I run it back here, I could plug my coils in right here. You could barely see any wire. Same thing, I could run my cam and crank sensor down through there and keep everything tucked away nice and neatly, man. So that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do. I might only have my trans cooler and fan wiring up here that you can see, and I might try to even snake those through the frame railing just to make it a little bit cleaner. As clean as I can make it until I start getting aggravated and I'm ready for it to be done. That's what's in the mix. That's what's going down. This is the 4th gen twin Camaro build in the mix.